Meanwhile, while Mika and her crew were performing construction on exovol, getting the ship ready to leave, elsewhere, there were other events transpiring still. In a segment of space, just outside of Tolialan territories, a large Rota battleship holds position just outside of a barren planet's moon, circling and waiting. This vessel, outfitted with countless weapons, massive cannons, laser arrays, missiles, and a myriad of other weaponry, heavily armored and fortified to withstand even the strongest of attacks. On board this warship, in a private room, the captain's office, there, a woman sits. Long, flowing black hair streams down from her head. Somewhat tribal clothing decorates her body, as she's covered in a myriad of tattoos, including some that cover segments of her face, adding extra decoration to surprisingly beautiful features, all pitched against purple eyes that glow brightly in the dark, giving a somewhat ominous appearance to the dimly lit room as she sits at the desk, her fingers with long black nails extending out from them to exceptionally sharp points, waving them gently across a holographic display on the desk of the segment of space that they're currently in, as the sound of an electronic door alarm draws her attention away from the holographic display. "You may enter," she said, as the doors open, and another Rota enters, a male, fairly well built, with much the same tribal attire, but much fewer tattoos, his hair tied into braids. "Captain, I'm here to file my report, ma'am. It can wait if I am disturbing you." "Don't be ridiculous. If it is to do with our mission, then it is of the utmost importance," the woman replied. "Step forward, give your report. What news have you?" she said, as the man stepped forward, taking a stance in front of the desk, hands behind his back, a head at attention, almost seeming afraid to break stance. "Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, at this point, we are unable to verify the location of the envoy. We do not know if he has left the planet. The Tolialan military is keeping us at bay, and with our forces occupied elsewhere, the amount of ships that we have at our disposal is limited. We are stopping every vessel that we can. However, as of yet, we have yet to locate the envoy. However, our data analysts are still fairly certain that he is still on the planet. According to them, he has a deadline to meet. He has a very short time remaining in which to return to Kothia. If the envoy was successful in currying favor with the Tolialans, and he's allowed to return to his homeworld and officially enter the decree within the time limit, then the Tolialans will officially become their allies in the war. It'll make ending things basically impossible. Therefore, our homeworld has issued us the use of 5 more ships in order to patrol the area. We understand the importance of our mission, ma'am. We will not fail to seize him. This war belongs to the Rota, and victory will be ours. We will prevent this alliance. Still so young and foolish, the woman behind the desk said, streaming one of her long black nails through her hair, pulling it back behind her ears. "Do you actually think that that's what this is all about? To simply stop an envoy from making an alliance? Come now, don't be so simple. You're young, but you're going to need to start learning to read between the lines. For every story that you hear, there are 10 that are hidden in the shadows. You'll need to grasp this. I'm uncertain of what you mean, Captain. There are countless envoys on ambassadorial missions, the captain replied, flitting all about the universe, trying to coerce help from countless different worlds, many that are far better militarily outfitted than Toliala. So, tell me, why is this one so much more important? Why is our military expending so many ships in the effort to stop but a single man? She said, standing up from her seat and beginning to walk around the desk and pacing around the young crew member standing in front of it. I'm sorry. I don't know, Captain. I apologize for my ignorance. No, there's no need for that. Your apology is neither beneficial to me nor necessary. I understand this is your first time at the helm of First Mate, so I'll educate you, she said, walking towards the desk, tapping it a few times and moving her fingers around, as a holographic image of some sort of machine appeared on top of the desk. This is the true reason that we're here. Yes, ma'am. But once again, I am ignorant of what this device is. I'll explain it to you, the captain replied. This is a planetary-grade defense system, one of the most advanced in our entire sector. The construction of a single one of these devices can take decades, and they sell for the highest of prices. This device is capable of emitting a shield array large enough to protect an entire planet. It's basically an impenetrable defense. You can come at it from any angle you want, and it won't matter. Once the shield is up, the planet is untouchable. Not only that, but the defenses that the device itself has are, well, immense, serving basically the function of a Tier 5 S-rank battleship, the kind that leads entire spaceborne fleets. This weapon is the true purpose of this envoy's presence on Toliala. He's there to negotiate the barter for it. But as the device is exceptionally valuable, its sale and purchase is highly guarded. Direct correspondence is the only way to facilitate it. Once the device is purchased, the planet that purchases it gets an encryption key, an exceptionally advanced encryption key. Once placed into a planetary grid, this encryption key will activate, calling the weapon system to the planet that purchased it, where it will take its position and make that planet near untouchable. Our little ambassador friend is the one in possession of that key. If he gets back to his home world with it, it won't just prolong the war or make it more difficult to defeat them. They'll be next to untouchable. They'll be able to abandon planetary defense entirely, focusing all of their units on offense, something that we cannot do. In other words, they'll wipe us out. We can't mount that sort of defense, and our ships are always vulnerable to attack without such a defense in place around our home world. They'll beat us into submission, and the war will be over in their favor. But there's a backfall to their little plan. The encryption key isn't hardwired to any specific world until it's inserted into their primary defense systems. Meaning, if we capture the envoy, we claim possession of the key. If we claim possession of the key, then the defense system is ours. And all of that planning and effort works in the opposite direction, the woman said, smiling towards the young man. Do we understand now? All of this is about a weapon, an extraordinarily powerful weapon, nothing more and nothing less than military might. These Kothians can talk a game of peace all they like, but in the end, all things come down to war, and we of the Rotah will win this one.